Good. How you guys doing, man? You're right. Big up, Flashmatic and Nick. You good?
Thank you, bro. Love, love,
Yeah,
love,
we're good,
love.
man. We're good. I mean, it wasn't the best of games, but we got the result, right? So.
Yeah. Stop being nice. It was shit. It was proper shit. Anyone who paid money to go and watch that, I feel sorry for you. That's why I never went today because I knew what we were gonna do today. Players are half-hearted in these games. Whenever we play a lesser opposition from a lower league, we always seem to not be up for it. Same in the European Conference League, we never seem to be at it. And it doesn't matter what manager it is, Poch, Nuno, uh, Jose, whoever's in charge. These games, we just don't seem to motivate ourselves. And I don't know why. But I knew it was going to be a poor game. I thought we'd win maybe 3-1. I thought we'd score more goals, but that's the only thing I thought we would have done more of. But okay, look, crap game. We're through to the next round.
Don't you think it was because of quite a few of the players were changed for this game, and we've got quite a few young boys playing? I know Basuma got injured in the warm-up, and then Skip had to jump in, so we had a midfield that hadn't played together before in Skip and Sarr. And then I know, like, obviously the front three were unchanged, so that was the same, but our back three were different. So, and obviously the wing backs were a big factor of the way we played. They pretty much sat behind the ball, two backs for four. And Spurs aren't the best team in breaking down team. We're not really a possession side like that. So do you think that has got a factor in the way we played and in the style we played?
Ashmatic, I think it comes down to the fact that our fans, sadly, there's a section of fans at Spurs who overhype players and they think they're a lot better than what they want. Everyone was saying, oh, Gil Messi, Brian Hill, what an amazing pass to Kane against Crystal Palace. Well, today we played Portsmouth. What did Brian Hill do? What did the guy do? So perhaps he's not actually all that. Perhaps everyone's just jizzing in their pants because he can do a couple of step overs and he can he can find a decent pass once in a while, right? Everyone does. A section of our fan base always does this. They jump on anything to try and feel, yeah, look at this. Nah, he's an all right player. He's nowhere near the levels we need. But because he's more direct than some of the other players we've got, we hype him up. Today we played against Portsmouth.
So would you send him out on loan, or would you sell him, or would you keep him? Because at the moment it looks like we're keeping Brian Hill. So what would your option be?
Let me finish with the rest of the squad, and I'll definitely answer your question.
Okay.
Right?
Cool.
Shouldn't have been some today. Shouldn't have been some today. Nothing.
Yeah.
Right? But against Palace, he's back. He's broken his duck.
Yeah.
Really? Everyone got hyped after that Palace game. You know, Skip today. You know, the wing backs, they're awful. I'm sorry. The wing backs at this club are diabolical. I watched Emerson. I think it was the last 5 minutes. The ball's gone out wide to him. He crosses it straight into 4 Portsmouth defenders. Look up, man. Square the ball back.
But he did. But still, he did. I'm sure he did a no look pass today, and it actually came off.
Well, good. Now he's worth 50 million. We can sell him for 50 million, right? Yeah. But you know, I look at the front three. Other than Harry Kane, the front three right now is dead for me. I don't think it's anything wow. You look at the midfield. There's no creativity. You look at the wide areas, awful. I think the wide areas are terrible. And then you look at the defence, there's no ball-playing centre-backs at this club other than Romero. No one can play ball. No one can play real football as a defender at this club other than Romero. And as for Sessegnon, I know the people that scouted him. I know the scouts that run the youth academy at Tottenham. Bob Harbour's, Danny Campiano's, they wanted Sess when he was 10. They wanted Sess and his brother. The only reason Sess is at Spurs is because the club have wanted him. The club have been chasing him. And you know what? When he came in, I asked people in the club, what do you think of Sess? And they said to me, he hasn't developed the way he would have developed at Tottenham if he came to us at 10. So I'm like, so why'd you sign him? And they all go quiet because they're not allowed to speak now. So Players like Cess, they're good at Fulham in the Championship, but when Fulham came up to the Premier League, they got relegated with Cess. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't blame the relegation on Cess, but mate, Ashmatic, it all comes down to ambition. What do you want as a fan, right? Do you want to win the league? Do you want to win the Champions League? Do you want to win the Europa Cup? Do you want to win the FA Cup? If
I
the
want to win
answer is
something,
yes,
that's for sure.
right? If we want to win something, we need to stop doing what we've done for the past 22 years and start raising the level of the quality of player that comes through the academy and that we sign as a transfer into the team. Change as many managers as you want. We've had them all. We've had the Redknapps, the Poches, the Mourinhos, the Conte, we've had them all, man. We've had them all. Right? It doesn't matter what manager comes into this club. And I know people will say, oh, but there's no excuses for playing rubbish today. A better manager can get a better tune out of them. I don't think they can. I think a better manager might make us pass the ball a bit better, but that'll fizzle out after 6 months. Once the honeymoon period's over and the reality that these players are bang average kicks in, we'll be back to square one again. So, for me, I just think we've got a very, very average group of players. And if you take Harry Kane out of this squad, I think we're a mid-table team. The two highlights of today, Kane and Sarr and full-time.
and you not going to the game.
That'll be free.
And me not going to the game. Look, one thing I'll say about Pape Sarr, okay? When we signed him, I'm in a group with scouts, and the Man United scouts couldn't believe we signed him. And I said, listen, I don't know who Pape Sarr is. And I spoke to them. I said, what's the shock? And they said, Man United really wanted him. Man United took a long, hard look at him. So they rated him. Now, that says to me there's probably something about this boy. And if it turns out that Pape Sarr becomes a good player, it's because we've actually scouted a good player. And I think he is a good player. Just from what other scouts said to me when we signed him. And it wasn't just the Man United scouts. They were all saying, you've got a player there. Now, it's whether we can develop him, give him the minutes, teach him the physicality of the Premier League. If we can develop him from being a kid to a man, we might have a serious player in midfield, But I'm not getting all hyped up about it because at the end of the day, he is still just potential. He's no more than that. He's still just potential. Until a young player becomes like Ledley King or Harry Kane, then you're not the real deal. Can you go from potential to becoming a Kane, to becoming a Ledley King, a top player? That's the aim, right?
It goes back to my question still. Sorry to interrupt you, but what do we do with the young boys? Do we send the young boys out? Do we keep them, give them minutes, or do we upgrade them? It's a hard question, I know.
No, listen, that's an easy one for me to answer. What we need to do with the young players is first of all decide what the club wants to do. What is the vision? Because Antonio Conte is telling us he wants the academy to develop players that are ready now, not for him to take potential and develop them. So there's a conflict between his vision of the academy and what the academy currently does. And then you've got Conte telling us, if you want to compete, you need to buy 2 or 3 players worth 50 to 70 million pounds every window. And over time, you end up building a quality squad. But Tom's vision is not that. I mean, we're not even prepared to pay 40 million pounds for our first choice right back we want to buy Porro. So Conte and the club don't align. So to answer your question, Asmaik, what we do with the kids depends on the plan. But the manager doesn't agree with the chairman and the academy doesn't align with the manager. So that says to me there's only one solution. Change the manager. But I'm telling you, if we do that, bye-bye Kane, bye-bye Romero, Kulusevski's going to question his future because he's seen the best players leave. And then what? The new manager's got an absolute nightmare on his hands. And I bet you now, the fans are going to turn very toxic. So what do we do with the kids? It depends what the club wants to do as a vision. But I've heard you guys talk about it many a time. We all do. There's no plan. There's no vision. There's no idea. And you've got a manager who's about to run out. His contract's about to run out in 6 months' time. So We can play the kid, but what if he goes in 6 months? Now, then what? So, I don't know, Asthmatic. I don't know what we do with the kids. I don't know. There's no plan. It's like you saying, it's like me saying to you, Asthmatic, have you got children? And you say, yeah, I've got 2. I'm like, okay, great. What's the plan? And you say to me, well, they're going to go to school. Then after school, they're going to go to secondary school. And then we're going to see where we're at. And if they want to go and get a job, I'll help them with that. If they want to go to university, I'll do my best to support them. If they want to join the army, I'll back them, whatever. But you will tell me roughly what kind of plan you got for your kids. We can't do that. We've got no plan whatsoever for this club, like on the football pitch. And if you ask anyone who's Levy in, Levy out, Conte in, Conte out, if you ask any one of these people, what is the plan? No one's got a clue, man. Nobody.
Yeah.
What? So, Stel, this will make you laugh. I don't know whether you've seen it. Basuma got a 7 from Sky Sports for his performance today.
Oh, wow. Is that what
He
we're
wasn't
doing?
even playing.
Is that what we're doing? Yeah, we all look the same, to be
Good
fair.
old Sky Sports. Oh my God. Stel, looking ahead to next Sunday, what are your thoughts, man?
All right, listen. I'm not gonna.
Go on, do it.
You listen. You know me.
Do it.
You know me, right? I don't.
Do it.
I'm not one of these positive at all cost people. I say it as I see it, and you either like it or you hate it. For me, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen, and people are going to probably think, shut up. But I said last year they weren't going to beat us. I said we're going to smack them, and I told everyone why, and it happened. And I'm telling you now, I said to my brother, we need Arsenal to draw against Newcastle. We need them to drop a few points because it will rattle them a little bit. And they come to White Hart Lane with a bit more pressure on their back. And we need to beat Palace, and we did. We're not going to beat Arsenal, but let me tell you something. There's no way they're coming and taking 3 points off of us. By hook, by crook, by luck, by fluke, we're gonna stink it out and get a draw. We're gonna rob a draw. Listen. My opinion, we're gonna get a draw. However, if Kulu and Bentancur are both out, as in both of them, not even one back, I think they're gonna slap us up. I think they're going to hit us for 3. I think they're going to.
So Stel's back to covering all bases. If we play this way, we're going to get slapped up. If this is going to happen, we're going to win. If this is going to happen, we're going to draw.
I respect it though, because it's true.
Listen, real talk. If we don't have Benny in midfield and we don't have Kulu in the front 3,
it's a problem.
They're going to rip us a new one. Yeah, it's going to be awful. But if we can get one of them back, we can stink it out and just rob a draw. And I don't think it's going to be 0-0. It's going to be 1-1 or 2-2. But I do think we'll get a draw in this game. We won't deserve it, by the way. It's not going to be this game where everyone's like, oh, well done, Tottenham, well deserved. We're going to walk out like, woo! Oh, okay. So,
because like Ben 10, Ben 10, he's the man. He's got the highest amount of interceptions in the attacking third, in the mid third, and then you've got Kulu's that's been our most productive in assisting goals. He's been our creator. He's been our most creative player. So that is a fair assessment, I think.
Yeah, I'm being positive, man. I'm being positive. We're gonna be there. Bobby K's coming over. Dan CHFC's coming over. We're little K's birthday. Come on, man. This is the North London derby. I don't give a shit what about form. I don't give a crap. Whatever happens, it's the North London derby, and it doesn't matter who's top of the league, who's playing well, who's playing badly. We know that. Look, we just need to get that tifo going, and then they're going to remember last year. Oh my God! I remember last year there was that tifo.
Nick,
come on, Stel.
They weren't a good side last year, man. They weren't a good side last year.
I know, mate,
honestly.
but this is a North London derby. Come on, man.
Nick.
Form goes out the window. Come on.
They are mustard. Arsenal. I'm
not saying that they're not.
I hate them.
I'm not saying that they're not, but come on, man. Mate,
the only hope we've got is the fact that their bench looks just as bad as ours. Against Newcastle, they had no one to come off the bench. They had Tommy Arsu and Tierney. defenders. They had no one else to come off that bench and turn the game, which is why if we can stink it out, which is going to annoy everyone, and they're not going to want to hear that. If we go toe to toe with them, they're gonna rip us. But if we stink it out, we go defensive, and we can hold them, they won't be able to change it up. And then it's our kind of game. Now it's our kind of game. If we try and play their game, they're going to do exactly what they did to us at the Emirates. So this is why I'm saying I don't think we'll beat them, but I do think we can get the draw. I do. But it's not going to be pretty. Look,
you're going to expect a low block. Are you expecting a low block, like Conte style? Like Spurs, you know, like how we went to Emirates, we were like ultra defensive. Are you expecting like everyone to kind of push back in our own half?
If Kulu's fit, I think we're going to play like we did against Liverpool and Man City away, where we went 5 at the back, 3 in the middle, 2 at the top. That then transitions into a 3-5-2.
Yeah. That makes sense.
The thing is, right, I get why he's not playing 3 in the middle at the moment, because if you think about it, he hasn't got anyone to spare. Like, if we get one more injury or a suspension to any one of the centre mids, then we don't have any options at all, which is why he's been playing 2 in midfield the past couple of games, because Bentancur's been injured and then Basuma was suspended. So if you go with the 3, that means you've got no other midfielders on the bench. Now, if one of these gets suspended or injured, you're completely fucked. So he's trying to manage the squad. And I get that. But for some fans, they don't get it. They don't want to hear it. He's a world-class manager. It's his job to deal with it. He's meant to be a magician, a wizard, and pluck players out of thin air, you know, pick an apple off the tree kind of thing. I get it. I understand it. But, you know, everyone's got their opinions. Everyone's allowed to look at it the way they see it. But I just feel for this game, we sadly, and as Spurs, it's not what we want to hear. We need to be defensive. And
who's their biggest problem?
Game Arsenal don't want.
Who's the player that you're worried about most for Arsenal? Who's going to be the one that causes trouble? Partey.
Thomas Partey. Yeah, he's for me. Someone needs to.
Everyone's raving about Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli.
What did Odegaard do against Newcastle in a low block? He didn't know what to do. Partey, he's the one. If we can, someone needs to put a real chunky tackle on him, and hopefully he wobbles or maybe goes off with a bit of a pain, because he's the one that I think really holds that team together. I think he's been brilliant for them this year. Odegaard's a magician. Like, he's been superb. He really has. But I think Partey, that experience playing at a high level at Atletico Madrid, and he's just a beast. He's like Wanyama with Tekers. He's a good player, really good player.
Yeah, because even last season, he was missing at the North London derby, and obviously they got a player sent off, and that obviously we got the rub of the green that day. But this season, obviously, Arsenal are on form, and Partey will start, and he will be playing. And I even remember the other game where we played with him when he first came, and what happened? Was he off the pitch? And then we scored.
We were on the counter attack, and he pulled his hamstring as we counter attacked.
Yeah,
and then
that was it.
He was hobbling. So we got lucky there again. Look, people just need to respect Arsenal. Like, we don't like them, we don't want to see them do well, but we've got to respect. Right now, they're a very, very, very good team. And if you don't show them that respect, they'll eat you. Newcastle went there, they showed them that respect, and they just blocked them out the game. People could say that Newcastle bottled it, or Newcastle were negative. Let me tell you, they went to the team top of the league and took a point off them. No one's been to the Emirates this year and taken any points off them. So that is a blueprint. And let's be honest, the way we're playing right now, we're not suddenly going to become this magical front foot attacking team. If we get players in, slowly, we can build that. But right now, we're not that. And we just need to understand where we're at, understand where they're at. And our strength is to stink it out. Sadly, it's not the kind of football any Spurs fan wants to see. But I did a tactical analysis show earlier on in the season with Sim on Tottenham TV, and I said, look, this is how I would set up to beat Arsenal. And Sim was saying, yo, but I think we should go 3-5. I said, listen, if we do that, we're going to get eaten. We did that, we got eaten. I understand Arsenal, and I understand where we're at. We need to go defensive, and it's not what people want. But if you don't want to lose the game, I don't see another way. Unless we get really lucky and they get a man sent off early and it tires them out and we wear them down and they haven't got subs to come on in, anything's possible. But
come on, Stel. Can't we believe a little bit that Xhaka gets sent off? Can't we? Look, Stel, when we were all sat there last year and we just before the game and we saw Romero wasn't playing and we all started getting worried. Imagine we sat there and Conte's going to play mind games with Arteta during the week. And we sat there.
I said, Nick, we're going to smash them. I said all along, those kids are going to come to the stadium.
Yeah, but listen. But what I'm saying is could it be a different way? Could it be a different way this year? We're sat there, all of a sudden, Bentancur, Kulusevski is starting the North London derby. Conte's playing mind games all week saying, they're probably not going to be back. They're probably not going to be ready. Richarlison's back on the bench. Could we then sit there and go, hang on a minute. This could happen, boys. We're there. Come on, there's nothing more. I want to see, after that game, we're there with the cigars, we're there with the smoke bombs, and we're putting Don Robbie back in his box, man. Come on, man.
If anyhow we beat them, God help AFTV what I'm going to do if we beat them. Absolutely. God help every single one of them. But that's a big if, all them players coming back. I just feel like they've shown this year they can handle big moments. They went to Man United. Yeah, they lost it because Arteta tactically screwed them, but they dominated Man United. They went to Chelsea, dicked all over them. They played Liverpool at their ground. Mate, they beat them as well. We went there, they smashed us. This is a different Arsenal team. But, like I said to my brother, we need Arsenal to lose, to drop points against Newcastle, because now it puts a bit more pressure on them coming to our ground. My prediction is 1-1. I think we're going to draw.
Okay, Stel. Well, we'll see. We'll see next Sunday. We've got, 7 days, 8 days until we're all there. All those people asking in the chat, we'll be there. Bobby K will be there. Ben, Sim, me, Daigle, Stel, the whole crew will be there, hoping that we don't get absolutely embarrassed, because otherwise we're going missing. We're all going missing.
No, we're not.
There'll be a post-match fan show. Ashmatic's doing the show with Marlon. There'll be no callers, man.
Listen. If we get battered, we're going to be on Sky TV breaking news. There's going to be helicopters over the stadium. We're going to go and charge Lily Whitehouse. We're taking Levy out of there by the ears. Pulling him out of his office by the ears.
That's the only way he'll come out, I think.
Yeah. The only way he's coming out of that stadium, I said that was in a box, but not from us, obviously. He ain't coming out any other way. Or someone's paying 4 million, dropping 4 billion on the table, man.
Yeah.
That's the only way. That's the only way.
I think for me, if it turns into one of those tragic games where we're just getting battered, 3-0 down. Do you remember last season we went to the Emirates, we were 3-0 down with Jose, was it? Or Nuno, we were 3-0 down at half time. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If we have one of those scenarios at our ground, I think it's going to get very, very, very toxic on the ownership very quickly. So
100%. 100%.
This is one game. Look, you know me. I'm Levy out. I'm Enoch out. I've got every argument in the book ready to hit back at anyone that tries to defend them. But if ever there's a game that I just don't want us to lose, it's this one. Yeah. I do not want to lose this one ever. I don't want to lose any game. But some games you're like, okay, whatever. It's Man City, or okay, we lost to Real Madrid in the Champions League. This, no. Yeah. Sorry, can't take it.
No, can't take it. We can't, mate. All right, big up, Stel. Thanks for the call.
Nice one, Stel, man.
And we'll see you. I'll see you next Sunday.
Yeah, I'll see you next Sunday. Big up, Tashmatic. Big up to Nick. And Nick, I don't know what Marmite and a dog has got to do with each other, but that was some intro you tried to give me earlier.
We better ask Tommy Mitchell. He'll be able to tell us.
Bring in Tommy. Bring in Tommy.
Yeah, exactly, man. Big up, man.
All right, have a good evening, guys.